Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. The Grinch Who Stole Christmas is alive and well this year in the United States Congress. No, I'm not talking about impeachment. I'm talking about the fact that our representatives and senators passed a bill that negatively affects the middle and working class by changing the rules of passing on an IRA to your heirs. Now, adult children who inherit IRAs will be required to drain them within 10 years and pay all of the taxes on the distributions and future earnings. This was called the Secure Act, which is short for Setting Every Community Up for Retirement Enhancement, which ended up changing many of the rules of the U.S. retirement laws, which ironically was approved in the House of Representatives last spring 417 to 3, and by the Senate on Wednesday, December 18th, just 2 days before they went home, 81 to 11. I mean, what passes Congress with that type of bipartisan support these days? Needless to say, South Dakota's Representative Dusty Johnson and Senators John Thune and Mike Rounds all voted for the bill. Now, despite its name, the Secure Act, many of the new law's provisions, I think, are anything but retirement enhancements. I wrote about the Secure Act in June, as did a lot of other financial journals, but it really hasn't received widespread attention. Despite its heavy bipartisan support, it isn't necessarily a retirement boost for the middle and working class savers. This particular revision revises long-standing IRA rules, which I think is especially unfair to parents who banked on the reliability of the current laws. Many of them did Roth conversions and paid the tax on a traditional IRA with the intention of leaving a portion of their IRA, that portion that they didn't use, as a tax-free gift that could grow over the years and support their children's retirement. Those are gone. And then if you read this or study a little bit more on this act, one of the big incentives for doing it is that it, by forcing the inheritors to liquidate traditional IRAs early, those would be the non-Roth IRAs, but the traditional IRAs, should raise $15.7 billion over the next 10 years. So there's two things happening. You have to liquidate all IRAs within 10 years. If you liquidate a Roth IRA, there's no taxes, but you will pay taxes going forward on all of the sales and dividends, etc. With traditional IRAs, you have to liquidate those within 10 years. But when you do, you have to pay all the taxes. And this can cause quite a unfortunate loss in net worth and the value of the IRA. So what's the trade-off for these massive tax increases? Well, they are, drum roll, extending by 18 months the age at which an IRA owner must begin taking distributions. That is from 70 and a half to 72. I mean, that's good, but really? Oh, there is one other thing. Increasing incentives to employers who set up 401ks. All right. And allowing people who are over age 70 and a half who are working to contribute to an IRA. If I had a mic, this is where I'd drop it. How many people over 70 are working? Only 19% of people over 65 are working. I don't see the gains here. So this means that we're going to have to come up with new strategies to address how an inheritor distributes the IRA to minimize the tax hit. Taking all of an IRA in 1 year could result in an heir in the peak of their earning years to pay 50% of it in taxes if they live in a high tax state like, say, New York or California. In a non-tax state like South Dakota, they're still going to lose over 1/3 of it if they take it out in 1 year, and they're a high earner. Even in the low brackets, it wouldn't be hard for a person to pay almost a quarter, lose almost a quarter of the IRA in the year they take it out. So strategies are going to be needed. If you counted on passing on an IRA to your children, you've got to re-examine your estate planning. It might be better to name a spouse as the beneficiary of your IRA rather than children, because spouses still can inherit an IRA without being forced to liquidate it over 10 years. The strategy of letting IRA assets accumulate when you're in retirement and rather you spend down your taxable accounts, well, that could totally change. You now might want to spend down IRA accounts and have any balances going to charities who won't pay any tax, and then pass on the accumulated taxable assets to your kids, who will get a step up in basis, which means there'll be no tax due on appreciated assets that you pass on to them. Until, of course, Congress takes away the step up in basis, which they've talked about, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that come down the pipe. If you made the beneficiary of your IRAs a trust, which usually is created at death in your will, that whole strategy needs reconsidering. Natalie Coate, in a December 21st, 2019 article in the Wall Street Journal entitled "Inheriting IRAs Just Got Complicated," says some types of IRA trusts make no sense under the new law. So you're going to have to take a look at your estate planning. Now, the new law does give a great boost to favoring life insurance over IRAs as a tax-efficient way to move assets to heirs. It also paves a way, that is the Act, for high fee and commission annuities now allowed to be sold to sponsors of 401k plans, which in the past was almost impossible. Why did Congress vote so overwhelmingly to penalize IRA inheritors and, on the other hand, open up investors' 401k plans to insurance products? Well, if I give the benefit of the doubt to our elected officials, maybe many of them didn't fully understand what they were voting on. If I don't give them the benefit of the doubt, perhaps the insurance lobby did their normal amazing job of selling the alleged benefits of insurance and annuities to our representatives, along with some contributions to their re-election funds. I don't know. But in any case, don't assume the Secure Act is a gift that's going to enhance your retirement security. Thanks for listening.